Now it should, in the top left corner, it should say recording.
Stop sharing your screen again so I can see. Yes.
Oh, it's recording. I see it up here.
Yep.
Okay, so after this call is over, a box is going to pop up.
Yep.
And there's going to be like a progress bar on it.
Okay.
Just don't close that because that'll delete the recording.
Okay.
All right, so let's start off here. And then we'll just start talking about it.
All right.
All right, guys, welcome to the training. This is Kenny here with Scott. And we wanted to just kind of come on here and put together some sort of formal training for the Chamber of Commerce method, specifically for the the Giveaway Masters people. And this is going to help you guys get in front of the Chamber of Commerce's in your area. And then we'll also talk about how to deal with the members once you get the chamber. So, Scott, you here?
I am. Hello.
What's up, man? What's going on?
Glad to be here. Let's rock and roll this thing out for everybody. Make it easier for them.
Yeah, so we really believe, we've been talking about this for a long time, months now, but we never had like formal training on how to do it. So this is kind of what this video is going to be all about. We believe this is the best way to get new business in the door with this offer. So we kind of wanted to give you a little structure, a little bit of a step-by-step process on how to do it. And that's what we're going to be doing here. So Scott, well, first of all, let's talk a little bit about why the Chamber is such a great model, like why they should be using that.
Well, to my personal opinion is that you've got in the South, we've got a term called fish in a barrel. I don't know if you guys have that in New York, Kenny, but I mean, the bottom line, you've got all of the businesses collected together in one place that you would like to be able to have access to go talk to. All right. Well, if you just go join the Chamber of Commerce as a member, you have that. But what we have with Giveaway Masters is a special, incredible, wonderful reason to be able to go in and talk to these people. And that is, we want to help the chamber that we're a member of look better with their Google reviews. And then later on, with other Google reviews, online reviews, other platforms, if they feel like that they would like to have that. But it is something that will enable a person to be able to know who to talk to. You know, Kenny's been one of the greatest salespeople on the planet on the phone ever since he started doing that when he was 15 years old. But the one thing that his company, whatever company he was working for, always supplied for him was a list of people to talk to. If Kenny had just gone into those businesses and just grabbed the phone book, it wasn't going to be as good because someone went out and discovered a qualified list of prospects for Kenny to talk to. And if you guys have listened to anything that Kenny has taught you from the beginning of any training that you've ever looked at with him, he always says he starts out with a qualified prospect list. And for us, the Chamber of Commerce, the members in the Chamber of Commerce are that qualified list of prospects.
Right. So one of the things I also say a lot is that when it comes to income and when it comes to the amount of money that you make of the business that you're building or whatever, the one thing that's standing between where you are now and where you want to be is that you don't have enough people to sell to. That's usually the problem. It's not a sales process. That's part of it. But most of the time it's the amount of people and the quality of people that you have to sell to. So you always want to focus on qualified leads, which is they have a want, need, and desire for what it is you're offering. They can afford it, and they can say yes or no right now, right? So if you have a list of 200 people or 300 people that meet those three things, you could be the worst salesman in the world, and you're still going to close probably 30% of them because they already want it, they already can afford it, and they can make a decision right now, right? So you don't have to be a great salesperson, but you do have to understand how to prospect effectively. And the great thing about the chamber method is that basically all the prospecting is done for you because they give you the qualified prospects. Now, the other thing that I want to point out too, which I think is really important, when you walk in to a cold meeting or you do a cold call, right? They don't know who you are. They don't know why you're calling. It's cold, right? But when you walk in as a member of the chamber, you're walking in on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce. All of your how do I get around the gatekeeper questions are gone. All of your, he's resistant to the idea. That's gone. The person's going to listen to you. You're going to get directly to the person that's going to make the decision. and there's going to be no resistance at all because you have that authority when you walk in the door.
I couldn't agree more. And again, the way that I've done it is I've gone and, you know, you decide what your prospecting list is going to be. And some of these chambers are humongous. When I met with Terry Palma the other day, the Greenville, South Carolina Chamber of Commerce has 2,000 member businesses in their chamber. So we're in negotiation now with Terry's chamber. When we get that wrapped up for him, then when he wakes up Monday morning, and actually what he should do is Sunday night, spend a little bit of time mapping out what his prospecting is going to be for the week. Just go into the membership directory and start at A and write down Monday 5 names of the businesses, the decision maker, and the phone number and the address of who you're going to go visit. And then go visit them on Monday. When you get there, walk in the door and say, "Hi, my name is Scott Powell. I'm a new member of the Greenville Chamber of Commerce. Very nice to meet you." And that right there is putting us ahead of 99% of every other marketer trying to get to meet that decision maker, because we're going in as a new member of the Chamber of Commerce that they are a member of as well. So that's, I mean, Kenny, have you heard of a better way to be able to get in to talk to a decision maker with no resistance than that?
With no resistance, no, because again, you're coming in with the authority. So you're coming in on behalf of the chamber, and when you say those words, you cut through. You become the battle with the battle with the secretary is always who do I let in versus who do I screen out. Right? The secretary does not want to let somebody in who they're not supposed to let in, but they also don't want to screen somebody out that they're not supposed to screen out either. That's equally as important, right? So when you open up that conversation with, "My name is Kenny, I'm coming here on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce," you instantly get to the person you need to get to, because she's not going to screen you out, or he's not going to screen you out, because they know that they're a person that the owner is going to want to talk to, because they're a member of the chamber as well. All right.
And you may want to be a little bit careful in saying "on behalf of," but just say "I am a new member of," because we don't want the chamber president to get word back saying that, you know, we're endorsed by the chamber, something like that. We're just a member, just like they are, and people like who they are like, and we just want to be there to kind of find out what their business is all about. I want to find out what your business is. You're a chamber member. I'm a chamber member. I'd like to find out what you do. And I'd like 2 seconds to see if we can get our chamber a Google review.
Right. So let's talk about that for a second, because just so you guys know, this is totally like an impromptu like training set. I literally text messaged Scott 20 minutes ago and I was like, "I need you for an hour. Let's do this training for these people." So we're just talking right now. Okay. And this is the best way that we come up with training. So Scott, here's a question for you. Okay. And Scott's the chamber guy. I'm not. I'm the sales guy. If I go to a chamber of commerce and I tell them I am going to go to all of your members and get reviews for you, if I do it that way, can I then say I'm here on behalf of the chamber because I am here to get a review for them?
That's an excellent question, and I'm glad you brought it up, because everyone needs to be crystal clear on this. It depends on the chamber president or whoever is sort of the person that you're working with, your go-to person in the chamber. You just ask them, tell them how you would like to present yourself to their members and ask their permission. And as long as you do that, you can say whatever they let you know is the allowable way for you to go in to talk to them. As long as you've got it pre-approved with them, then you're good to go. But,
all right, there you go. Perfect answer. Because I just want, again, I want to make sure it's clear for everybody. I don't want to give any wrong information out. So
right. And the worst thing that can happen is that a member goes out and says, "Hi, I'm here on behalf of the chamber." After you leave, the chamber calls them up and you don't have that permission. And we don't want to do that. We want that chamber to feel like we're the best member they ever had. And we will be.
Right. So my usual advice of it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission does not apply here.
Yeah.
When you're trespassing on somebody's lawn to get to a fishing spot, do it the other way. But when you're doing the chamber thing, do it that way. Ask permission first. Okay, so let's go through the process here. I'm going to open up a new tab, and I just want to search out Chamber of Commerce, and I'm going to find some like in the area here on Long Island, I guess.
All right.
And I'm going to open up this map, and I just want to show you guys like how many, if you scroll out here a little bit and you look through all of Long Island, there's probably, I actually counted these one time. There's like 70 of them on Long Island. Now these are, I don't think they're that big, to be honest with you. They might be like maybe, 300 or 400 members in each one of them. There might be one with 1,000 on Long Island. Maybe if you go out west a little bit in this area, it's probably a little bit bigger. That's more like Queens, Brooklyn area, but there's a lot of them, and you only need one of these. Okay, if you have one, you're pretty much busy for quite some time because you're going to have to go to every single one of those members. So step number one would be, Scott, to Google your local area, Chamber of Commerce, and then get this list together.
And correct. And if you go back just to the original page, go back again. All right, now see right there is a perfect place. Look, print that out. Go to the Bayshore Chamber. Look at it. They have no reviews. All right, look at the Sayville Chamber. They only have 6. They're in better shape. The Smithtown Chamber of Commerce, no reviews. How much more of a gaping hole of need do you guys need? I mean, look, that right there, that's who to go talk to, the first 3 in the map. All right, and then Kenny, next check on the Sayville, because 4.5 is not bad, but they've only got 6. All right, so click on the reviews, the blue part. No. Up, right where it says Google reviews, go up. Okay. Right there. Okay, 2 years ago, 10 months ago, a year ago, none of these reviews are relevant. Any review that is over 90 days old means nothing, because people reading these are saying, how come nobody's saying anything about these people lately? And the biggest thing is that Google gives ranking juice for the 3-pack in part for reviews. Any review that is over 90 days old, Google looks at as irrelevant to help give that chamber ranking juice, and any other local business. So looking and being able to understand exactly how to figure out if a chamber is in good shape or not, at first glance to the uneducated, somebody might look at that and say 4.5, they're good. No, they're not. They don't have a review in the last 90 days. And if you find out how many businesses are in the Sayville Chamber of Commerce, let's say they've got 400. Well, 6 reviews out of 400 members of their own Chamber of Commerce is horrible. But it's not horrible. It's a huge opportunity for us, because when we were at the Greenville Chamber the other day, they've got 2,000 chamber members and 10 reviews. So I asked them, do you think that 10 out of 2,000 y'all are leading effectively in this area? And what could they say? That no, we're not. Okay, well, that's why we're here to help you. We want you to be able to have 2,000 reviews. Wouldn't this chamber be better off? And wouldn't you be showing your businesses a best practice if you had 2,000 reviews instead of 10? Wouldn't you be showing them that in this area, this is where you need to be? So I'm here to help you lead in this particular area. But again,
right. And here's another thing too, that, and this goes for not just the Chamber of Commerce thing. I think this goes for any business that you guys are talking to. If you run into something like this where they say, oh yeah, I have, I'm doing fine on Google reviews. I have 4.5 stars and I have 6 reviews and everything's great. If you look at this, like Scott said, the last review is 10 months ago and it's kind of crappy. And then they have 2 years ago, a year ago, and all that stuff. And you can go into the whole thing where if it's less than 90 days, it doesn't matter and all that. But my response to that is always, it's not really about the amount of reviews that you have or the quality of them. It's about the process that you do to get them. So do you have a process in place that consistently gets you reviews on a daily, weekly, or weekly basis? If the answer to that question is no, then you need what we have. To me, it's really just that simple. And that goes for the chamber, that goes for anybody, really, because you're going to run into a lot of people like this. But in this specific instance, I'm not even paying attention to Sayville. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Sayville as the which would you choose part of my pitch? To
Yeah.
Bayshore, Smithtown, Holbrook, I don't know where the hell that is. Patchogue, Nesconset, Three Village, all of these places. I'm going to say, hey, if you had a choice between Sayville and your chamber in Smithtown, which one would you go to? Now, these two would be bad to compare because this is like a Long Island thing, but these are probably 30 minutes apart, right? So I don't really know if anyone's going to go to the Sayville chamber if they live in Smithtown. But if they live in Sayville, they would go to Bayshore. If they live in Holbrook, they might go to Smithtown, right? So you could see on the map here, Smithtown is probably all the way up here somewhere. Sayville is like all the way down here somewhere. That's Sayville right there. This is Smithtown up in here. So it's a further drive. It's North Shore and South Shore. But again, you could show them, look, this is what they look like. This is what you look like. Here's the before and after. And that's kind of where you start. Now, let's go into one of these, Scott, and see if we can find the people that we need to talk to.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so I'm going to go in. Do you want to pick one or you want me to just random?
Bayshore's good. Or go to Sayville since they've got the best.
Okay, so let's go to Sayville and see if we can find out who we need to talk to. And so I'm guessing here. I don't really – I'm going to try to go, I guess, maybe directory, right?
Yes.
Or contact us? Maybe?
No, directory.
Okay.
And also remember, you get more access when you are a member of it, but
right.
You can still see it if you're not a member. Right?
Yeah. Well, these are the people that are members of the chamber.
Correct.
Right. What I want to try to find out is how do I get in touch with the chamber so I could try to pitch them on the idea?
Okay, got it. Yeah, contact us or about us, our directors.
Our directors. So guys, look at how easy this is. And we're going to do this randomly in a second because I don't want you to think that I planned this out 6 months in advance. But this is the information of all the people. So we know exactly how to get in touch. This is the president of the chamber. This is the vice president. She works at Teach Consulting Services. Valerie's the second vice president. She's a lawyer, right? Or she works at the law firm. So we can easily get in touch with these people. And this is actually one that I've seen that doesn't give a lot of information, believe it or not. Most of them give the phone number and email address right on the page.
Correct.
The ones that I've seen. So this is actually a bad example of what we do, but you could still very easily, I could go to Teach Consulting Services in a new tab and I could take a look at if I could find this woman's email and phone number right there and the address, right? So I could talk to, and this looks like the person, right? That's her name, Eileen, whatever. And the email address is her name. So this is her email address, and this is probably her phone number. It might even be a direct line to her. So,
and I would say that if someone was going to email or someone was going to telephone to be able to set up an appointment to speak with this woman, my name is Scott Powell. I have a business in the area. I'm considering joining your Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to come by and talk with someone about that. You think they're going to say no to an appointment of you wanting to join their chamber? No.
No, not at all. I mean, this woman, she's the president of the chamber, or she's the vice president. But I mean, that's what these people do. Their job as the president of a company or president of an organization is to increase the revenue of that organization. That's their main job, right? And the revenue comes from members. Exactly.
And if I say I'm considering joining your chamber, and then when I sit down and talk to them, say, well, you've got 6 reviews, and these other chambers around here don't have any, so you're kind of looking good in that area, but all of your reviews are old. And I'd like to try and help you with that. That's what we do. That's what our business is all about. And it's just a natural conversation. And trust me, I've done this now with probably 10 or 12 chambers, had these conversations. I've not met one of these people yet who, when I begin the conversation about improving online reputation and reviews, that they kick me out of their office. They don't. They all understand what a big deal this is.
Right. Right. All right. So I'm just looking through like randomly, like how to find the information of the president and stuff like that. Cause we wouldn't, in this instance, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, we're not going to go and really pitch Sayville first, right? We're going to use them as the after, or which one would you choose?
Correct. Or you could go to them first and use the angle that how many members do you have? You've only got 6 and they're 10 months old.
Right. So this is Smithtown here. And
look at that.
Yeah, you have Robert, whatever. He's a plumber. And here's his phone number. And they don't have an email address, but you can probably find it here. But it's direct line right to the guy. This is the vice president, direct line right to the guy. This is the second vice president, company name. All the information is right here, board of directors. And remember, we're giving away our review tool to these people for free forever.
Yep.
I mean, it's the easiest meeting in the world that you're ever going to take. Like, if you can't take that meeting and be successful with it, then there's a serious problem. And here's the thing. Let's say Smithtown says no and Bayshore says no. Well, let's get out of this for a second. Let me go back here. Let's get out of this and just take a look at all of these different Chamber of Commerces all across Long Island, right? I only need one of these to say yes to you. Now, some of these, like Montauk's really small, right? Maybe there's 100 businesses in there, maybe 50. Amagansett, the same thing. I don't even know Liberty Pole. Sag Harbor, probably same thing. Shelter Island's a waste of time because you have to take a ferry to get there. It's just stupid. Riverhead's probably huge. That's probably the biggest one on Long Island outside of Queens. So, but you only need one of them to say yes. And look at, it's like they're all over the place. So even if you don't get Smithtown, Bayshore, or whatever, or Holbrook or Ronkonkoma, whichever one you're going for, you could just keep going down the list until you find one. All you're doing is giving away a free tool for life.
And then your sweat equity to go out and gather reviews for the chamber.
Right.
And one thing also to think about, if you get one, and let's say that you were able to get the Smithtown Chamber of Commerce, and in the first 30 days, you got them 25 new Google reviews. All right. Now, then if you go back to Bayshore and say, hey, look what we did for them in a month. Do you think they look better online now? Would you like me to start helping you in the same way now?
Right. And just as a little bit of a case study, he's not here, and he can probably tell you the story better than I can, but I believe Marcus's chamber went from 3 to 35 in, I think, 6 weeks.
37.
3 to 37 in 6 weeks.
Yep.
So there you go. I mean, that's obviously what I think he lives in North Carolina, whatever. That's obviously the number one chamber in the area.
Absolutely. And if anybody wants to look at it to verify, it's the Knightdale, North Carolina Chamber of Commerce. And they can see the number that they've got now.
Let's do that. Knightdale.
Yep.
North Carolina Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
Okay, 37. So there you go. 37 Google reviews. And look at this. A month ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago. This guy gave a bad one. Listen, it's going to happen.
Not through us.
Yeah. No, because it wouldn't have gotten through with our tool. Right. And that's another thing that you can point out to these people, that reviews like that won't get through. That's from Marcus. All these are from Marcus right here. A month ago. So, obviously it works. But what I want to do on this page here is I just want to randomly kind of, because I don't want you to think, listen, I'm from Long Island, right? Maybe I planned this whole thing out or whatever. What I want to do is I want to just take the map and just go like this, watch. And then we're going to zoom and we're going to start looking for chambers in this area. And I want to show you that it's literally all the same, right? They're not going to have 0. Not all of them are going to have 0 like Long Island. But you see they have 1, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1.
And that one's 3.7 with 3.
Right. Where was that one? Yeah, this one. And this one is 1 with 1. Right? So it's the same thing. And if we go into the website, it's going to be exactly the same. You're going to go into the website and you're going to go in and you're going to just take a look at, you may have to look for it a little bit, but About Us or wherever it is to try to find
who it is that you need to go talk to.
Right. Who you need to go talk to. Right. And again, not every one of them is going to have the executive director's email address and phone number right on the front page with his picture. Not every one of them is going to have that, but I randomly went to Lebanon, wherever the hell that, I thought that was in Israel or whatever. But not everyone's going to have all this stuff right here, but most of them will have the board of directors and their phone number and all that stuff. So again, I'm going to do that one more time just to show you real quick that this is not something that we planned out or not something that, is just in one area of the country. We'll just randomly take the map and go over into Utah somewhere and look at the Chamber of Commerce's. And you could see, again, 5, 2, none, 5, 4, none, 3, 1. It's the same thing everywhere. And again, if you go into the website in Vernal area, you can go in here. And again, not every single one of them is going to have the information that we need, but usually if you look around here a little bit, you'll be able to find, I don't even know where to go here.
Contact.
Yeah, maybe let's take a look at that. Yeah, this is kind of like a basic email address with a basic phone number. Like you don't really know who to talk to.
Click on chamber.
Yeah, let's see that. Oh, look at that. Board and staff. President, phone number, email address.
Hey, Robin.
Hey, Robin. So yeah, it's literally everywhere. And I could do this for days, but I'm not going to. Okay, so we go to, Scott, the Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce, and we get Robin in a meeting. Yeah. What are we saying to Robin when we get there?
The very first thing is, Robin, you are the leader of best practices of the businesses. Excuse me. Let me start over. My name is Scott Powell. I'm with Online Review Machine Giveaway Masters, and I'm considering joining your chamber. And just
stop 1 second. Hang on.
Yeah.
This is going to confuse people. I've had this happen. That's why I'm stopping Scott. You are going to say you're from whatever company you're from.
Correct.
So you don't say you're from Giveaway Masters Online Review Machine. Say you're from, ABC Market, whatever your company name is, whatever it is that you're doing.
That's right.
All right.
And then I'm considering, I'm new in the area. I'm considering joining your chamber and just wanted to kind of find out what you guys are all about. And then give them a chance to talk about how great they are and how great what they do is, and just be inquisitive and ask her to continue to tell you about what they do. And then eventually she will say, well, what kind of business are you in? And well, glad you asked. We help companies with their online reviews. And one of the things that we have begun to do recently is we are joining our local Chamber of Commerce's, and we've noticed that they all have a really big problem that we like to try to see if we can solve with the chamber. And that is your online reviews. And if you have done your homework and you've got printed out a page like this, let's say we were going to the Vernal. Okay, well, you see here, what was her name again? Sandy? Kenny?
I believe it was Robin.
Robin, yeah, you go. So Robin, you guys don't have any Google reviews, and I've got this article here by Bright Local, and they've got some statistics on how important reviews are today in 2018. And actually 87% of people who begin looking online trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. And it doesn't look like that you guys have got any personal recommendations. And I can't believe that's, that y'all aren't great at what you do, but nobody's telling anyone about that publicly. And Google is really important because they're the #1 search engine in the world. And they feel like that these reviews are important because look how prominently they're placing them on the search. And so what we would like to do is we would like to offer you our review platform for free forever. And then we also would like to be able to go out and meet our fellow Chamber of Commerce members and ask them if they would leave a review for our chamber. Right? Now, so the solution that I'm offering to you will cost you no time and will cost you no money and will put you in a better position of leadership in the area of online reputation for all of the businesses inside of your chamber. and then just be quiet and see how the conversation goes from there. And the conversations that I have had so far is they're happy to hear it. I mean, how could you be the president of the Chamber of Commerce, look at that Bright Local article and realize you have no reviews and not think that you've got some kind of a problem that needs to be taken care of? They know it, and you're there to help them with it. You're not selling them anything. You're there to help them.
And guys, well, I just want to show you something real quick. Now, we're going to be putting together some material that you can take to the Chamber of Commerce. I don't know when that's going to be done, but I just want to show you, like, literally how easy this is. So I opened up PowerPoint. I know you guys watch me do that. I'm going to insert a text box. I'm going to have this done in like 30 seconds. Watch this. I'm going to insert a text box right in the middle, right? I'm going to paste. Whoops, that was wrong. I'm going to get rid of that. Hang on a second. There we go. I'm going to insert a text box like that. I'm going to put Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce. Put it in the middle. Make it a little bigger. Kind of like that, right? Then I'm going to duplicate the slide. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go to my snipping tool. I am going to click new. I'm going to do that. Copy, PowerPoint, paste. Duplicate the slide. Ignore all this design stuff. Get rid of this. Go into my survey. Snipping tool. New. Key statistics. Copy. Paste. Ready for meeting time. Done. This is what I'm taking with me.
Yep.
That's it. Done. And I'm going to go through these with her, right? And you can even make these the other way around, right? You can say that all the statistics first, or you could do it that way, whatever. And you know, the other thing that you might want to include too, if you wanted to, is go back to your snipping tool, click new, and then go into here and say, hey, look, these are all of the people, all the chambers that these people can choose from. So if you had a choice between this and this, or any one of these, would you choose the one with the 5, or would you choose the one with the 0? Well, I don't know what you would say, Robin, but 97% of people, and then I'm going to go through the statistics.
Yep.
That's it. Now, again, we're giving this away for free for life. So whether you have to even go into all of this stuff or not, you probably don't even have to, because the resistance is literally 0 when you walk in there. But it's still good to have it all available so that it kind of looks like you have your stuff together. So that's basically the whole entire presentation right there. And I made it in under a minute by copying with the snipping tool what I see right in front of me.
And Kenny, I'd also like, since we're doing this together today, I'd also like to mention something that came about with our chamber in England. The Merton Chamber of Commerce, and it also came up, and I think it's going to be the thing that's going to get that deal closed. And you know, when you're giving something to somebody, it just even sounds funny coming out of my mouth by saying closing the deal. I mean, we're giving them something. But the Greenville Chamber of Commerce has 2,000 members, and we met with them for close to 2 hours. And an hour and a half in, because I like to meet face to face so I can read body language and nonverbal communication, I kind of felt like it was going okay, but it wasn't really like special. Well, then I decided to go ahead and ask them if they had something called an affinity program. And Kenny, are you aware of what an affinity program is?
Actually, I was on mute. Sorry. Yes, but explain it to the people.
Okay. An affinity program is actually, remember, everybody's got a bright neon sign on their forehead, WIIFM. What's in it for me? Always remember that. What's in it for me? All right. Well, the Chamber of Commerce likes revenue too. And so what they have is something called, not all of them, but check on the one that you're talking to see if they do. They have something called a value add program. It's what they call their affinity program. And what we're looking to be able to do with the Greenville Chamber is they will actually be the reseller of our review tool to the members in their chamber. And there are 2,000 of those businesses. Now, we're going to work with them on some type of a revenue split. So we're going to let all their members know. First, we're going to get it running with the chamber in Greenville and get them 25 to 50 reviews. Then they are going to offer, not our local member Terry, he can do that on his own as well, but the chamber is going to offer our service to their members. And if they take it at $97 a month, we're going to have a 50-50 revenue split. And so I hope you can do the math and understand the position that Terry Palma is in. He's going to actually have the Greenville Chamber of Commerce selling his service, not him.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
And if you look in here and find out if they have anything, their resources or something like that, if they have an affinity program, and you've got a search, excuse me, a search bar, a search thingy over there on the upper right-hand corner besides news and blogs, and maybe they've got an affinity program, but just bring that up while you're there, because they may want to make money off of what we're doing, and that might be the thing that gets the deal done. And Kenny, you've got a search bar on the right hand beside news and blogs, upper right hand corner.
Oh yeah, well I'm actually in it right now.
Okay.
I'm actually, yeah. So basically, if you guys were watching while Scott was talking, this is freaking Denver, Colorado. This is a bit like Denver is that's a huge place, right?
Humongous.
So while Scott was talking, I just flashed on the screen the president, COO, this guy is, she's CEO of the chamber. This is, I don't know what this guy does, but he's important in the chamber. There's his phone number. There's her phone number. There's her email. And I also came over here and I went to, where the hell was it? Discounts and deals, right? Look, these are member-only discounts.
Right.
Fresh fruit, this thing. Well, your review tool can be here.
Yep.
And then the chamber can get paid when you make a deal happen. They're going to help you sell it.
Right.
Right. So again, this is not going to be on every single chamber in the world, but Denver happens to have it. Now, if you look back on, I randomly scrolled to Denver, but I believe they only had 9 reviews. Let's take a look. Yeah, Denver has 9 reviews and it's a 3.8. Now let's take a look and see
how old they are.
Right. Let's look at that. So a year ago, 3 years ago, months ago, a year ago. Guys, listen, I don't know if you understand this, but if you got the Denver Chamber of Commerce, you're busy for the next 5 years.
Yes.
Like you're done. It's over. Your prospecting life is over. All of your business growth is built into this one deal. And all you have to do is give them a free tool for life. And that's it. I don't know how many members they have. I don't know how to find that out, but they probably have a crap ton of members in Denver.
And maybe About Us might have it. Sometimes they don't have that on there. But I also want you guys to know, you guys know Kenny's background a little bit better than mine, but I have been basically a commission salesperson for 30 years. And the number one thing that I wake up with every single day in those 30 years is, who am I going to go talk to today? It's the biggest hurdle for a salesperson / marketing person ever. And so for me, when I look at this and realize that I've got my way to prospect, I could not, if I'd have had this 30 years ago, I would have been retired 10 years ago, at least.
Hey, Scott, just 1 second real quick. For 150 years, our goal at the Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce has been simple. We want to put more Coloradans to work. We do that with a reach that goes beyond the metro area, representing 3,000 companies and 300,000 employees.
Yowza.
Now, I don't know. Listen, that's what it says on their page, right? I don't know if that means they have 3,000 members or not. maybe they have less than, I don't know, but it says right here, representing 3,000 companies. That makes me believe that they have 3,000 or so members in the Chamber of Commerce in Denver.
I would agree with that.
Now, again, I don't want to put any kind of false information out there. That might not be the case. They may just be saying they represent every company there because of the Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce or whatever. But that leads me to believe that's their membership base, give or take maybe 200 or so, right? Even if they have 1,000 or 1,500 or 2,000, the Denver Chamber of Commerce is you're done. Growth is done for you for 5 years if you get that. And guys, I was scrolling around the map. That's one example of all over the United States. You can go anywhere you want. I'm randomly just moving my mouse, trying to find like some bigger cities here so I can give you another example, but randomly just moving around. It's the same everywhere. Let's look inside Kansas City. The Greater Kansas City Chamber has 3 reviews.
Go to Charlotte, North Carolina.
They have a lot. I looked at them before. 7 months ago, a year ago. And again, I'll go to Charlotte next. I think they have like 35 or something. But if you look at this, every single one of them is the same. It may take you a couple minutes to find it. As you can see, it's taking me a couple minutes to find every single one of these. But all the information is here if you just go through the page and look for it. You can contact these people very, very easily. Matthew Condon, you could figure out how to contact him easily. And most of them have the information right on the page. This is the Senior Vice President of Public Policy, a web person, a Senior Vice President and Chief Administrative Officer, Chief of Staff. The presidents are the only ones that have them, whatever. Vice President of Marketing right there. So, all these President and Chief Executive Officer, Joe Reardon, phone numbers right there. They're all very easy to contact. All right, let's go to Charlotte. And then what I want to do, Scott, after this is I want to talk about what to do once you get the chamber on board. Like what's the next step?
Okay.
All right. So North Carolina, Charlotte. Yeah. I thought I saw before. Oh yeah. 34, but it's 2.6.
Yeah.
So it's not good.
And you know how many members they've got? I do, because I called them.
Thousands.
2,400.
Yeah. 2,400. There you go. This person left a 1-star review because they paid $25 for parking. But listen, I'm joking about that, right? It's true. I mean, it's right there, but it's kind of funny that they left a review for that. I go to the Chamber of Commerce, and my first opening line after the quick introduction is, look, this person left a negative review for you because the county or city charged them $25 to park in front of your building. That's the exposure that you have to negativity. That has nothing to do with you, but it's on your page and it's going to be there forever. My tool can prevent that from happening. Right? So this is not a negative review about the chamber. It's a negative review about the cost she paid the city to park in front of the chamber's building. It has nothing to do with the chamber, but it's on the chamber's page. And it's a local guide, so that actually means something. I'm one of them as well for Long Island. But that actually holds more weight when people look at it. But the bottom line is we can prevent this. All right. And again, this is another one. Like, this has nothing to do with the Chamber of Commerce. This is a political thing. Chamber of Commerce is pro-illegal alien and anti-American. This is a political deal. So we can prevent this from happening to them. All right. So.
And Kenny, add new good ones, new
right.
4 and 5 ones.
Right, exactly. And we can also use the Charlotte Chamber, as a way to sell some of these other chambers that are in the area. So, Mount Holly, right? Mount Holly has 0. Charlotte has 34. So we can go to Mount Holly and say, this is a terrible example, by the way, just so you guys know. But we can go to Holly and say, which one would you choose? Mount Holly may come back to you and say, well, we'd probably choose us because they have a 2.6 star rating. They suck.
Right.
Right. So but again, the bottom line is you can use the bigger one in the area as a way to help you close the smaller ones. You don't always have to go for the big guy. You can use the big guy to close the smaller guys by saying, which one would you choose? The person with all the reviews or the person with no reviews? Now, this is, again, a bad example because they have bad reviews, right? But if they had good reviews, it would be a perfect example to say to Mount Holly, listen, which one would you choose? The one that has 4.5 stars and 34 reviews, or you guys that have none?
And see, the other thing too, when we get ourselves into the Charlotte chamber and we get them up to 100 and their number is 4.2 instead of 2.6,
Mm-hmm.
then we can talk to Mount Holly and say, look at what we did for them. You want us to help you like that?
Now, are you guys actually, you guys are working the Charlotte?
Not yet. We've got a guy up there, but he hasn't gotten the meeting yet with the Charlotte chamber people yet.
Okay. All right. So what now? We get the chamber on board. And again, you go to your local area. I showed this 1,000 times. I don't really want to keep doing this, but you go to your local area, wherever it may be in the United States, and you're going to have chambers in your area, right? And it's going to look like every single place I randomly scrolled to, you're going to have either no reviews or you're going to have a couple. Okay. You get one of the meeting. Oh, you get a meeting at one of these Chamber of Commerces. You only need one of them. You get a meeting at one of them. You get the Chamber of Commerce on board. You give them our tool for free for life. Scott, now what happens after that's done?
All right. The way to be able to prospect again is to make sure that you have gone over with the chamber president or their social media director, whoever your contact is there in the chamber, and let them know that what is in it for you is that you would like to go by and talk to these businesses and introduce yourself and find out, what their business is and briefly introduce what you do. And while you're there, put that business owner into our review tool to leave a review for that chamber. All right. And so the way that we do that is you've got our review tool for the chamber on your phone or on your tablet or on your laptop, whatever device you take in with you for the meeting. And then you ask them, hi, my name is Scott. I'm with ABC Marketing. I just joined the chamber and I wanted to meet all of the other chamber members. Very nice to meet you. And one of the things I'd like to do is to be able to get our chamber a 5-star Google review. How would you feel about doing that? Take less than 5 minutes. If they say yes, put their name, cell, and Gmail or email into the portal on your phone or laptop or tablet and hit send. And then you have just demoed the product. And then if they do it right there while you're standing there, you can actually go on to Google and see that it's already posted. All right. So then on your way out, and Kenny, if you'd like to, I can share my screen and show them this flyer if you want me to.
Yep, I just stopped, so now you can grab it.
All right, so hold on one second. I'm going to show you the flyer that we have.
And guys, again, while Scott's pulling this up, we're going to be in the next couple days here creating. Well, actually, when you watch this, it might have already been there. But we're going to be creating sales stuff for you guys to use for the chamber. So that's either coming if you're watching this the day we release it, or it's probably around here somewhere if you've watched it, months from now.
Okay, can you see that, Kenny?
Yep.
All right, so Knightdale Chamber of Commerce up at the top, and this is editable on PowerPoint, and you guys have access to this if you want it. So at the top, you put Charlotte Chamber of Commerce, whatever it is your chamber is. And then if you want to change the setup fee from $100 setup fee waived to $200 setup fee waived, you can. And it's a little bit harder to read, but I've got below that 30-day free trial, member-to-member discount, $97 reduced to $75 a month. Now, you guys can set it at $125, reduced down to $97 if you would like to. Whatever you guys want to offer this to and sell is completely up to you. All right, then we've got our logos below that, which again is something you can change because it's editable. And then down at the bottom, I've got our website and my name and phone number, right? So when you're getting ready to leave, after you've got that decision maker to leave that chamber a review, then you can, on the way out the door, say, oh, well, wait a minute. If you would like to have a 30-day trial of this, here's my flyer and my number. Think it over and let me know, and then leave. right? Now, another thing that you can also do is you can go to any of the functions that the chamber is having. So you can meet the decision makers there. You've got a tablet with you. If you ask any of them to leave a chamber or review while you're having a conversation with them, the big key is to make sure you're building up that chamber's reviews. We all, every one of us, are in a much, 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 much better position today to show people what we do because our Knightdale Chamber of Commerce has 37 reviews instead of 3. And when you guys join a chamber, then get the reviews from the members, all right? Because it's going to be helping show that what we're doing to help the Chamber of Commerce is actually working.
Now, Scott, quick question on this.
Yep.
And then I have a quick comment on this flyer as well. Because they are resellers of our tool, then they can use testimonials or they could show the Knightdale Chamber of Commerce as an example of what our tool can do, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to show you something else. All right. In the sales process, when you're sitting down with people, documentation beats conversation every time. All right. Now, we have worked very hard to create all of this stuff for you guys. So use it to help yourself. All right. If you go under our online review machine website, and all of you guys are members of our website, right? This is your support fulfillment website company. All right. We've got 40 reviews. That looks good.
Scott, just hang out 1 second. When did you launch this website officially?
I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago.
And look at the amount of reviews that we already have.
All right.
If people want to say the tool doesn't work, look at the amount of reviews we already have in 3 months. 40, and they're all 5 stars.
Right. And then the most important thing really on this page to me, one is credibility as seen on ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. That's pretty cool. But what I like even better is here. See the credibility we've got put together for you guys to present this to other people? You show that to a president of commerce that you're talking to, what are they going to say? And then you can say, hey, would you like to talk to Charlotte Hatch, the Chamber of Commerce president at Snowflake Taylor? I'll hook it up to where you can talk to her. Hey, would you like to talk to the Pikesville Chamber president? Would you like to talk to Patrice, the president of the Knightdale Chamber? And as we get more of these chambers, going to add more logos here, then the process is just going to be that much easier. Because when we've got 25 of these on our testimonial page like this, our partner page like this, how hard is it going to be to sell it, to give away our review tool then, Kenny?
It's the easiest thing in the world. I mean, and you know, you can also, you know, I'm not going to tell you what to do with this site, but there are probably, I would guess, 20 or 30 nonprofits that we gave this away to as well.
Yep.
And all of their logos could be added as well.
Yep.
I mean, I know I gave one to some thrift shop in Austin or something. So,
Yep.
I mean, they're all over the place. And again, as we build this up and as you guys go out and do the chamber strategy, we'll be adding those logos and everything on here. And as it builds, right, it's easier for everybody else to sell. And that's why membership growth inside of Giveaway Masters is so important as well, because as we grow, we're going to get more and more partners, and we'll be able to showcase that.
And a little bit more here, okay, if you click on the testimonials page, and again, we'll be adding more of these as we collect them, all right? But we've got these here. All right, so we've got testimonials here for people if they want to go through these, right? Really cool videos. And we worked really hard to be able to create these for you guys. And I just want you all to understand. All right, look, I personally believe that after, you know, from when we started to where we are now, I'm very impressed with the fact that we can showcase ourselves as a expert in this area with the as seen on logos for the major media. And I'm very proud of this. But imagine what this is going to look like when we've got 100 of them. how easy it's going to be for us to be able to add another chamber when we have 100 of these, and your local Better Business Bureau, not just mine. And that's why it's important to go and join these business organizations around your local area and be a local business person, not just some would-be, wannabe online marketer who's going to try to be successful just by emailing people. You're building a business. So get out there and make it happen. So I'm going to stop my screen share and you can pick yours back up.
Yeah, no, actually, I want go back on yours because I want to look at that flyer again. I just want to point out one thing really quickly with that flyer. The one thing that you guys have to be careful of, and this is me maybe just being a little paranoid, but I think it's something that you should think about when it comes to pricing, right? Scott was talking about you guys, and you guys do. It's true. You set up your own pricing. You can put whatever you want on there. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I am one of the ones that believe $97 a month for what we sell is a freaking robbery. I mean, I think it should be worth it's $500, $600, $700 a month. If we're really bringing in reviews the way that we say, $97 a month is a joke for what we do because we bring more value than any SEO person, Facebook ad person. Without us, those people can't do their service the right way. So I think our price is way low for what we're actually offering. But with that said, you can set your prices however you want. The one thing that you have to think about, and this could just be me being paranoid, is this. If you're going to put on this flyer, $197 discounted to $97, right? My suggestion to you then would be if you're going to the pizza place, don't sell it for $97. Sell it for $197. And the reason why I'm telling you to think about that is because God forbid a chamber member knows the pizza guy who's not a chamber member. And they're like, yeah, we're using that too. We're paying $97 a month. Now the chamber guy thinks he has a discount when the pizza guy who's not a chamber guy got the same price, right? And that makes you look like you're kind of misleading people.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing. Like if you're going to put your price at $125 a month and you're giving them a discount, sell the thing for $125 a month. Or you just say $97 and the discount is $75 a month. However you want to do it, but just make sure your pricing is real. Don't just fake it to make it look better. Make sure it's real.
And also remember, okay, if you make it happy for the chamber and they've got 2,000 members and you're in their affinity program, if you can get that worked out at $75 a month and they're selling it for you, you have lost your mind if you want to try to make sure that you get $97 a month out of those accounts. Go ahead, if you can get a special set of circumstances like that, get a lower price for more sold. I mean, that's to me, that's just good business sense. I will sell 100 for 75 instead of 5 at 97. Y'all all notice Kenny mutes himself. That's why it takes time.
I do, yeah. I completely agree. I think I'm off. I'm actually what I'm trying to do right now is figure out how to get my screen back up. There you go. Okay, yeah, I agree with that 100%. I am a scale guy. I am not a hit a home run on one deal type of person, especially with something like this. Because what you guys have to understand is that kind of like the example that I gave before, right? The plumber in the chamber knows the pizza guy, but the pizza guy is not in the chamber. You get connected with 50 or so members of a chamber of commerce, that is going to branch out for you like you would not even believe. Not only are they going to give you referrals and bring more business to you, but they're also going to be buying more stuff from you as well, right? And as you close chamber members, it's going to be easier. Every one member that you close, the next one's going to be easier because you're going to have one person to point back to. And then eventually you're going to have 10 people to point back to because that guy's going to say, well, this is not going to work in the construction business. Well, maybe you're right, but it worked for these 35 other people in every different industry that you could possibly imagine. So you could be right, but it's a 30-day free trial. Give it a shot, see what happens. It worked for all them, right? So as you have more people on board, it's going to be easier to close the next one. All right, I'm going to grab this screen back real quick.
And I
And I love it.
also I want to just interject a little bit at that point while you're getting your screen back up.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that's one of the reasons that we're trying to help everyone understand that what we really are is a digital services wholesaler, because we want to be able to get your guys the foot in the door with the review tool, and then you guys can then have other digital services at lower prices than anybody else is offering them for when you go back to make the upsell. Now, Kenny, what's the easiest sale in the world?
The second one,
Yes.
or the third one, or the fourth one, or the fifth one.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, the correct answer to that is the next one to the customer that you already have.
Right. So we get them in on the review tool, and then we've got lower prices for digital services than they will find anywhere else to sell them number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5.
Right. So yeah, to Scott's point, and I'll expand on this just a tiny bit because this is a thing I could talk about for like 5 hours straight. Really, the two ways to bring in to increase your profit in a business is to lower expenses or increase revenue. Right? Those are the two ways that you can do it. And focusing on increasing revenue, because you guys aren't going to fire people. You don't have anyone to fire, probably. So you're not going to do that. You're probably not going to downsize your office because you probably don't have one. Probably working out of your living room, your kitchen table. So you can't really lower expenses. So the easiest way to bring in new revenue is to get a base of qualified prospects and get the first base of customers, right? The first 50 or 100 or whatever. And you can do that a number of different ways, but the chambered way is the easiest way to do it. After you do that, the easiest way to grow revenue is to sell more to the people that you're already selling to.
Yes.
But the one thing you have to be careful of is you still have to focus on growing the new people coming in.
Correct.
So your pipeline always has to be full, even though you're selling more to the people you already have. So not a chambered thing, just a business thing, but make sure you have to focus on both. A lot of people will say, okay, I have 100 customers. Now I'm just going to focus on those 100 customers. And they end up going out of business. Okay. You have to focus on the 100 customers and sell more to them. But the next month you should have 125 customers that you're selling more to. And the next month it should be 200. And the next month it should be 300. And you should be growing every single month or every single quarter or however you want to measure it. So what I wanted to talk about here in the Allegheny Chamber of Commerce, and this is, again, I could go all across the United States and show you guys this. They may not have, we talked a little about the affinity program, right? They may not have that specific thing. They may not have something called the affinity program. They may not have something where they refer business to other businesses or they give discounts to, but they may not have something like that, right? But I promise you, and you can go all across the United States, look at every single one of them. Every chamber of commerce raises money. Every one of them. Okay. So you look at this events tab. What do you think all of these things are? Choose and cut, the photos, the vendor thing, the Christmas fair, the Luke Fest, the arts adventure in the North Carolina mountains, the Backwoods Beat Music Festival. This is all to raise money for the Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
Okay. So even if they don't have the affinity program, I could go into them and say, look, you have the Luke Fest, you have the Backwoods Music Festival, you have the course house picker thing. How about we just add this to your list of fundraising activities? And every time one of your members buys this service from me for $97 a month, I'll give you back $40. Right? So maybe they don't have the affinity program. Maybe they don't call it that, but they're all raising funds. And when they're raising funds and you're charging their members something, you have the opportunity, if it has to be done to close the deal, you have the opportunity to give them money back as another way to raise funds for the chamber.
And for yourself.
Well, yeah, you're going to keep some of the money, of course, obviously. But I'm just saying that the point of this is you may go into a lot of these chambers and they may not have what I showed you before, where they have listings of things, right? They may not have an affinity program, quote unquote, but they're a nonprofit and every nonprofit raises money. You have a way for them to raise money that's completely hands off to them. They don't have to go and put on the Luke Fest, which probably takes them half a year to do, a ton of money and a ton of people. They don't have to put that on. because you can go ahead and raise them $40 every time one of their members buys your software. Right? That could just be another fundraising thing for them, and you could position it that way, and it works really well.
And I hope you're realizing how beautiful those pictures are, Kenny, because that's exactly what it looks like where you're going to be going soon.
Is this, yeah, oh, this is, I thought this was Pennsylvania. This is North Carolina?
North Carolina, baby.
Mm-hmm. Blue
Ridge Parkway.
Like to put an arrow in that turkey's neck. Maybe we can edit that out. No, actually, you know what? It's me. I'm going to leave it in there. All right. So what else do we need to talk? Ooh, that's beautiful. What else do we need to talk about in regards to the Chamber of Commerce thing? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty straightforward.
Well, I guess the other thing is that I'm available if you guys need any help. If you line up some kind of a talk with somebody while time, until we scale where I can't do it. But then we'll have some other well-meaning members who are willing to help you out. But if you get, stuck or not confident and you need some help, I'm more than happy if you want to get me on the phone with your chamber president. I got on the phone with the Uber conference line with a guy named Will, who happens to be the chamber president of Las Vegas, Nevada, with our member Shar Rustia. And we're following up with them in about another week and a half because he wants to wait until his social media director gets back from wherever she's at so we can talk together. And the two things I want to say, and then I'm done unless you've got anything else for me, Kenny. Number one, I cannot stress this enough. It is a process. Don't feel like you go in there and you pitch this one time and you're going to get a yes or no right then. These people do not think like that. You're going to talk to one person, and if they like you and like what you're saying, they're going to say, well, we need to get together with this person. And then you're going to have to meet with two of them. And then they're going to tell you, well, we got to run everything by our board of directors. And then you can get the decision. But don't get impatient with the process and just go through it. All right, you want to mention anything about that, Kenny? Because you're more of a more of a quicker closer person than I am.
Yeah, I definitely do want to mention something about that. And, I don't know if this is a positive or negative, and I don't want to sound like a jerk, but, Scott said he's more than happy to get on the phone with you and help you with the chamber president and all that stuff. I would be too, but the problem is that I am going to beat the crap out of them. And that's just not the way this deal is done.
Right.
So, and listen, when I have faults, I will totally admit it. I am not the type of salesperson that you want on the phone with your president of your chamber. I'm just not, because that guy's not going to say, I got to talk to my board of directors to me. And I'm not going to just say, okay, no problem, we'll meet next week. So for me, I'm just not that type of person. I would rather, and I'm not saying this is the right way to do it. It's the wrong way to do it. Scott's way is the right way to do it. His way works. Mine doesn't. So follow his instruction. I would rather, if it's me, take this list and in one morning blow through the whole list and just freaking beat the crap out of them. That's just how I go about it. I want to get a yes out of this list in an hour and 15 minutes, right? A firm commitment. But that's not the way this process works at all. It's because you're building a long-term relationship with these people, right? And you're building a long-term relationship with the membership base. So you can't be this hard charging, crazy, animal on the telephone or in the meeting. You have to really massage this deal because you're going to be working with 1,000, 2,000, or maybe if it's a small chamber, 500 or 300 of their membership base. So you want to make sure that you're best friends with the people that are the leadership of that chamber. So I would be more than happy to get on the phone with you guys. And I don't want to sound like I'm kind of pushing you away and I'm not willing to do it. I just don't think that my style of the way that I do things really works well with what we have. And I'm not afraid I'm going to just openly admit that, right? It's just not the way it should be done. Scott's way is the way it should be done. So that's that. So before we go, because I think we covered pretty much everything. I'm sure people are going to have questions on this and you can ask us.
I had one other quick thing that I wanted to ask you, Kenny.
Sure.
And I don't know how this may come across to people that want to find fault or be negative or whatever, but just from your experience, from beginning to end, I just look at what we have and I'm just damn proud of it. I mean, I mean, I just don't see any other offer. And I'm getting maybe up to 500 emails a day with other offers that I'm getting in my email. And I've got to go through and unsubscribe from some of these things because I just get way too many. But when you combine what we have with this chamber strategy, with the fact that we're our Done With You program, you've been doing this a long time, Kenny. And I mean, it's not really the place for me to be bragging on what we have created, but I guess maybe it's better if I just ask you because you've been doing this a lot longer. But I just feel like we've got absolutely the best opportunity. And if people can't make it with us, I just keep looking at all these other offers where they're just going to have to buy it and do everything themselves. And I don't see how they've got any shot at all at that kind of thing. So I just wanted to mention that and see if you wanted to comment on that, and then you can wrap it up.
Right. Yeah, I truly believe that this is by far the best offer available to not only the internet marketing crowd or whatever. I believe this is the best business model available to any person that is looking to add an extra income stream to their life. I truly believe that, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. I mean, listen, me and Scott are friends. I like him a lot. He's been pursuing me for a while, showing me a lot of different stuff. But the bottom line is the bottom line, and this is business. I could sell whatever the hell I want on a webinar. I could put my own product together that has nothing to do with reviews. I could put my appointment thing back on Facebook. I can keep all the money, right? I truly believe that this not only helps the member, you guys, but it also helps the business owner. And I think equally as important to that, it helps all the people that work for that business, and it helps the community that business is in. And I truly believe, I've said this over and over and over again, that let's just zoom in here on a little area. I truly believe that Parkersburg, whatever the hell, this is Ohio, I guess. Parkersburg, Ohio, within 5 years is going to be a ghost town because Amazon and all these companies are going to take, there's a Walmart within 5 miles of this place or 10 miles of this place, right? Amazon is taking that stuff over, and they just are. You don't have to like it. They are. So it's our job, I believe, and it's our duty to protect the local pizza place and the employees of that pizza place and the local taxi company and the local plumber and the local lawyer and the local community businesses that the community that have been there forever. It's our job to help them grow and keep them in business, because that's what's going to keep people employed. It's going to keep the business owner employed, and it's going to keep people happy in that community. And we have a tool that can help people do that. And it also helps the member, obviously, because you get paid on doing it. And it's a very easy sale to do. As far as the member goes and making money and an opportunity to make an income, the only thing that I've ever seen that came close to what we do here, and it literally ruined the entire country, the way that it was done, and really the whole world. It ruined the whole world in one shot. Is if I could rewind my life and go back to 2005 and sell mortgages again with live transfers at $110 a piece, that comes close to what we have here. But again, that collapsed the entire world economy. So, we're not at risk to doing that. But that was a money-making thing. I've made a crap ton of money doing that. So, yes, as far as making money goes, that came close. I still think this is a better opportunity than that was, but that came close. But again, I was paying a ton of money for leads. It was a lot of time. It was a lot of effort. It was a lot of energy. I was working 8 a.m. in the morning to 7 o'clock at night, 4 days a week. And then I was getting off at 5 on Fridays. And that was like a gift. For this, you're getting free leads with the chambered method. You're getting free leads, and you have a product and service that's going to be around forever. It's only going to grow from where we are. And the amount of leads that you have here, as you can see, as we're scrolling around the United States, and we haven't even gotten to the world, and we're not going to do that here on this video, but they're everywhere. They're literally everywhere. And nobody's coming to them with this offer besides the people in this membership group. So, all right. So how I want to end this call off real quick is just a very streamlined process of like step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like what is in like 2 minutes, Scott? What did they do in a streamlined version to get a chamber on board and then start getting the members on board?
take a look at your local chamber, go over, print out your material that you may need. If you can have a presentation, which Kenny showed you how to create that stuff, go talk to the person at the front desk and find out who is in charge of their social media. That's the person you want to talk to first. And then if you have the chance, if you can't make the appointment right then and there, ask when you can set an appointment and let that person know that you have an interest in joining. You're a local business person and you're interested in joining their Chamber of Commerce. When you sit down with them, show them the materials that we'll put together for you, right? And just let them know that they've got a problem. You want to expose a problem and then offer to be the solution. Let them know that we want to give their chamber, like we've given other chambers, a tool to be able to solve the problem. And then we're going to use our sweat equity to go out and gather the reviews to make the chamber look better. And then after you have that conversation with that person, be prepared that they're going to have to go talk to somebody else and then maybe have to talk to somebody else, and then just be patient. And that's pretty much it. I mean, if you do that, they're either going to tell you yes or no. If they say no, go to the next chamber in your area.
Right. And then when you go to the members, just get the review and then leave the flyer with them.
Yep.
That's the easiest way to do it. And I did show you, Scott's right. I did show you how to do the PowerPoint, right? Showed you how to do all that stuff. But we are, at the time of this recording, if you're watching this in December, we probably already have it. We definitely have it already. But we are in the process of putting together sales material that you guys can use so that you don't have to go and just cut and paste like I just did. You're going to have an actual presentation that you can just go with your laptop or tablet or whatever and just flip through it for the chamber. And we'll give that to you guys and you can use that. So,
or you can even print it out and put it in a little notebook in those laminated little sleeves.
Yeah. Yep. Like a binder.
Yeah. Just do a little flip chart thing and just flip it and read and point to it, and it should be pretty simple.
All right, guys. So that is it for the training. I hope you guys liked it. There's a lot of training inside of Giveaway Masters on how to sell the products and services that we have. I go through cold calling stuff. We go through email. We go through just, power base and all that stuff. And I believe in all that. I mean, I've built my company. Every company that I've ever built was built off of power base. I mean, I started off with people that I know and I grew out from there. But I also truly believe that with this offer that we have, this is the way to sell it. There's no doubt about that. This is the way to do it. And, all the other stuff's great. Pay attention to it, learn it, understand it. You can use it in other areas. The sales stuff that we teach you in here, you can use in your chamber presentations. You can use some of the skills and tactics and strategies that we teach you in the cold calling stuff and in the appointment booking stuff. You can use all that stuff in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce method that we're talking about here. So don't ignore all of that. But I truly believe, and I know Scott's on board with this one, this is the way to promote and sell Giveaway Masters to local businesses in the area. There's no doubt about that. So that's it for me, Scott. If you have anything else, you can chime in. If not, just stop that recording and we're good to go.
All right. You need to stop sharing your screen, and just thank everybody. And if there's anything that I can do to be able to help any of you guys, all you need to do is get in touch with me and let me know. I'll do everything I can.
Take care, guys.
Take care, guys.